high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus with news from Troy University locations around the world. This is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for April 16, 2014. I'm Jamarlo Phillips.
And I'm Caitlin Crow. Thank you for joining us this evening. New senators were recently elected to the SGA, and they are already making plans for the upcoming fall semester. Amanda Ford has a story.
And began making plans for the upcoming fall semester.
Well, getting new senators to kind of come in and realize, what the Student Government Association is and what we do on campus, really being able to get their feet wet, understand, what we do, how we do it, and just prepare for the year that we have ahead of us.
Today we had the opportunity to inaugurate the senators that weren't able to come to the banquet and get inaugurated last week. We also talked about committees, and we were able to choose which committee that we would like to be on for next year and things that we could work on for next year.
Matt Thompson and the rest of the newly elected Executive Council shared some of their ideas for the university and the student body for the upcoming year.
Well, we have Welcome Week. That's the big week that we're really focusing on right now. With Welcome Week, it's just where different organizations around campus really being able to introduce themselves to all the incoming freshmen that will be going through Impact this summer. Helping them to get that home, coming to Troy, and getting them ready for the year.
At the last meeting, President Farrell presented the resolution for the new recreational center, and so we're just looking forward to working with that and working with the university to possibly get the plans moving in the budget for the recreational center so we can get that started as soon as possible.
The Executive Council will continue making plans for the university throughout the summer. Amanda Ford, Troy TrojanVision News.
The SGA will continue to make plans throughout the rest of the semester and will resume meetings in the fall.
One Troy University fraternity welcomed a special guest speaker to campus who discussed the importance of business etiquette. Casey Freeman shows us more.
The men of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated hosted a business etiquette forum for the students of Troy University to help them prepare for a workforce after college.
Tonight we're having a speaker forum at 103 Patterson on business etiquette and leadership.
I had the opportunity to talk to individuals about leadership and really about my concept called TEAM. It's an acronym that I utilize to frame my leadership philosophy.
Colonel Shannon gave insight to what it means to be a part of a team and also spoke about having core values in relation to the work environment.
For me, actually, been in the Air Force for 28 years, I have 3 core values the Air Force instilled in me that I utilize all the time. First, it says integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Those 3 core values I can utilize in any form in my life.
The most important thing that stuck out to me was being able to use your core values. A true leader always going to have a set of core values that you have to lead on.
Students were eager to extend their learning past the classroom so they can grow and achieve greater work ethics.
I'm looking forward to how to act in a job setting and how to get a job and who to go to about different questions that I have.
I hope the students learn how to work as a team and knowing there's no I in team, how to come together and make work and use your resources and get involved.
Casey Freeman, Troy, TrojanVision.
Shannon also encourages students to look into the leadership program here at Troy University. Well, Troy University is made up of a variety of people from students to faculty and staff, and some of those have some interesting stories to tell.
Throughout the month of April, we are going to take a look at some of those individuals in our Trojan Profile series. Today, Caitlin Isom introduces to us a Troy student who uses his previous college experience to help him succeed at Troy.
When most people think about college, partying and doing whatever they please seems to come to mind. But Robert Diaz had a much different college experience at the United States Military Academy in West Point, New York. He endured rigorous military training and being pushed to his limits physically, mentally, and academically.
The atmosphere at the academy only breeds some of the most prominent leaders in our nation, and the fact is that they expect only the best from you. They constantly expect you to improve yourself and to progress as a person, a leader, as well as an officer in the Army.
Because getting through each day at the academy is such a difficult task, some cadets try to lighten the mood by playing pranks on one another, even if it does come with a few costs.
The most common disciplinary action that they can impose on a cadet is walking hours. And this means that you're going to go ahead and get dressed up in your finest uniform, you're going to have a clean rifle, and they're going to inspect you before you start walking back and forth between 100 yards in the central area so everybody can see that you've done something wrong. And it's a corrective action to help you improve yourself and not make the same mistake.
Through all the hardships, the stresses, and the mischief, the cadets are able to come together and form a strong bond that will go with them long after leaving the academy, and they will always be cheering for the Army Black Knights.
Even after graduating from West Point, you can see the alumni, the graduates, the officers, the cadets trying to make their way to Philadelphia in December for the Army-Navy game. We haven't won in the past 10, 11 years, but you best believe that everybody's still going to be chanting, "Go Army, beat the hell out of Navy."
Diaz is now a senior information systems major at Troy University who is very involved on campus. Next semester, he plans to join the Air Force ROTC detachment and receive a commission as an officer. Caitlin Isom, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Keep watching throughout the month of April for more of our Trojan Profile series.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Auburn, Auburn University canceled class today following what school officials are calling an unsubstantiated threat on campus. A message posted on the university website says authorities do not believe the threat is credible, but school officials said they suspended classes and other normal operations for a day because of anxiety among students and parents.
And in Huntsville, police are investigating a shooting at a Huntsville Walmart store that involved an off-duty Morgan County Sheriff's deputy. Police say the gunshot wound yesterday was not life-threatening, and officers are guarding the wounded man at a Huntsville hospital.
And in Orange Beach, former Republican vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin is scheduled to be in Alabama next week. Palin will speak at an event organized by the Baldwin County Republican Party on April 25th at the Wharf in Orange Beach.
And TrojanVision Nightly News, the women's golf team made their mark in the final rounds of the Sun Belt Conference Championship. Amy Austin will have the final results when she joins us in sports. Now Amy Austin joins us for a look at sports. So Amy, it's my understanding that the women's golf team had a good run this week at the Sun Belt Conference Championship. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, Caitlin, that's right. The women were doing very well in the tournament, but I'll let you know just how they did right now in sports. They are the champions. The women's golf team finished out the Sun Belt Conference Championship today and took the title. The women headed into the final round of the tournament with a 6-shot lead. In today's rounds, Troy led 6 strokes over Texas State through 15 holes. Troy then extended their lead to 8 with only 2 teams left on the course. The women would then clinch the title. This is the first time the women's golf team has won any sort of championship title. This will also be the first time the Trojans compete in the NCAA tournament as a Division I team. And in individual play, Troy took another victory as Fatima Fernandez-Cano won the playoff hole. She is now the Sun Belt Conference individual champion. While the baseball team doesn't have a midweek game, they are in the middle of preparing to head to Arkansas to take on UALR. Troy is currently 19-18 on the season and 6-8 in conference play. Troy finished last weekend with a series victory over Western Kentucky. The University of Arkansas at Little Rock is currently 14-20 on their season and are only 3-12 in conference play. Troy is ranked 7th in the Sun Belt, while UALR rounds out the bottom in 10th place. The UALR Trojans are coming off a series sweep from Louisiana Lafayette, but won their midweek game against Louisiana Tech. Ben Crumpton is leading at the plate with a .340 batting average, and all 4 of UALR's main pitchers have around a 4 ERA. Troy has David Hall leading at the plate with a .352 batting average, and Garrett Pitts is right behind him with a .342. Ben Tidwell leads the Trojans with an ERA of 2.72. Troy will begin their 3-game series with UALR on Friday, with Game 1 beginning at 6. The softball team also has a break as they don't have a midweek game either. The Trojans are preparing to take their own field as they take on Louisiana Lafayette with a 3-game series in Troy over the weekend. The softball team is coming off a weekend where they split with UT Arlington due to one canceled game. UT Arlington won Game 1 2-1, while Troy came back victorious in Game 2 to win 5-4. ULL is currently 11-1 in conference play and leads the Sun Belt ranked number 1 and is the foe for Troy this weekend. Louisiana Lafayette is ranked 7 in NCAA rankings. Lafayette is coming off of a 3-game series with South Alabama, where South Alabama was able to take 1 game from the Raging Cajuns. Troy is currently 2-9 in conference and holds a 17-24 record on the season. Both teams have won their recent games, and we'll see who will continue the streak. The first game will be Saturday at 4, which will be game 1 of a doubleheader. The final game will be Sunday at noon. The track and field team will head to Auburn on Friday to compete in the War Eagle Invitational, which is the last meet of the regular season. The team recently competed at the South Alabama Invitational and the Spec Towns National Team Invitational. At both events, the team took first place in an event each. Jordan Lamberg ran in the 400-meter dash and won with a time of 46.88 seconds. In men's javelin, Hayes Grissom finished in first. Sierra King ran in the 100-meter dash. She finished with a time of 12.18 seconds, which was a new best on the season for her. This moved King into 14th place in the Sun Belt. The Trojans will begin competition at the War Eagle Invitational on Friday, and then will prepare to host the Coach O Invitational, which will be held on Troy's campus. And a new postseason bowl game has been added for Sun Belt Conference teams. This new bowl game is to be called the Cure Bowl. The Orlando Sports Foundation and Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer announced the creation of this bowl today. The Cure Bowl is named after the search for the cure for breast cancer. This postseason game will match up a Sun Belt Conference team against an American Athletic Conference team. The Cure Bowl will start being held in December 2015 and will be held at the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida, the weekend before Christmas. Since joining the Sun Belt in 2004, Troy has played in 5 bowl games. So, Jamarlo, Caitlin, congratulations to the women's golf team, and excited about football with getting a new bowl game.
That's pretty interesting. Maybe we'll have a good chance at competing this year. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.